Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Pacifica Encounter deck profile for post Lyrical Monasterio, Trick or Trick. This is one of the two new encounter decks that we got from the latest Cardfight Vanguard booster set, Lyrical Monasterio, with its different support. Finally got the encounter deck for Pacifica, one of the first Bermuda Triangle units that we got ever in Cardfight Vanguard, giving us options for the superior call and draw power that we get with Pacifica, also using her alternate form, Planet Idol Pacifica, as a rearguard backup, and then using some of the other more generic Pacifica support that we have to search out the grade 3 units. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the ride deck. And for those of you unfamiliar, we do have a new rule that went forward on January 19th, 2024, where you have to have 50 cards in the main deck and 4 cards in the ride deck, so 54 cards total for D format of Cardfight Vanguard. So we'll have 50 cards and then the 4 in the ride deck. So with our starter, Diva of Evening Mooning Hyacinth, when it's rode upon, if you went second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is Diva of Lanterns and Ais. When rode upon, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 cards with Pacifica and their card names from among them, reveal, put into your hand, and shuffle the deck. So just giving you search power for your Persona Ride target, but also your Planet Idol Pacifica to be able to call to rearguard. Our grade 2 is Soul Stirring Diva, Monette. When rode upon by a grade 3 with Pacifica and its card name, choose one of your vanguards till end of turn. The cost of that unit's original act ability is reduced by Counterblast 1. So then you just get a free once per turn for its initial Counterblast for its act effect, with the last card in the ride deck being our top idol Pacifica. We are running the 1 in the ride deck, and I do want to run 3 additional in the main deck as well. I'm not building Pacifica, so I only have a couple copies of each card for it, but you do want to run 3. I have the Rattling Good Time Flummy as a placeholder. So 3 additional ones, so you can have the Persona Ride power with the copy from your ride deck. On the Vanguard Circle, once per turn, Counterblast 1, put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck to draw 2 cards. So with the grade 2, after riding into it from the ride deck, you don't have the Counterblast, so all you have to do is put a card from your hand on the bottom of the deck, and you draw 2 cards. So very, very useful just to kind of, go through the deck a little faster. And on the Vanguard Circle, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, card with Pacifica and its card name, search your deck for up to 1 normal unit, call to an open rearguard, and shuffle your deck. This can give you the multiple attacks with some of your other units, and setting up the Pacificas and the Soul can be done pretty easily with our Planet Idol Pacifica. Once again, I just have the spot filled with Rattling Good Time Flummy, but I do want to run 4 copies of this card. On the back row center rearguard during your turn, if you have a Vanguard with Pacifica and its card name, this unit can attack from the back row, and if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 10,000 power. So you can have 5 attacks in total, at least, with the Pacifica Planet Idol attacking from the back row center. Then the Pacifica's other skill to be able to call a normal unit to an open rearguard circle as well. And on the rearguard at the end of the battle, this unit attacked, if you have a Vanguard with Pacifica and its card name, put this unit into the Soul, choose one of your units, it gets plus 5,000 until end of turn, and if you put a card from the back row center rearguard into the Soul, you draw a card. So just putting this unit into the Soul can give you that additional setup for the Pacifica skill as well, needing the Soul Blast of a Pacifica card to get the superior call of another one, so you can put Planet Idol in and then just get to it that much more quickly without needing to Persona Ride. Also running 2 copies of Colored Bop Dragon Wallbrig. When using this card, it's mostly just for the discard for riding from a grade 3, so we can have the costs taken care of to draw into another card. When it's placed on guard circle, you can choose a grade 4 from your hand, reveal it, which we're not really going to use much in this deck. So once again, this card's just in here for the discard cost for the ride deck target to then get an additional draw. I also run 2 copies of Starry Witchcraft Roseanne. When this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, put a card from your hand to the Soul, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose up to a card from among them, and put it in a hand, put the rest on the bottom of the deck. So another way just to get the Pacifica card into the Soul faster if need be. You could always replace the Walbrigia with 2 more copies of Roseanne if you wish as well, just to have another cool grade 3 to be able to call out off of Pacifica that could just help to go through the deck a little faster also. For the grade 2s, the only grade 2s that I run are the Revival Ocean Solange. When this unit is placed on rear, Counterblast 1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card with Pacifica and its card name from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle the deck. If you do not reveal a card, you countercharge 1. Now, they have the 1 Rabilla in here just as another placeholder, but still, with this card being a search power and making up for if you didn't search it with a countercharge, and when your other unit attacks from the back row center, this card gets plus 5,000 till end of turn. So you can have this card gain power thanks to Planet Idol Pacifica, and then just being able to use your Vanguard to then put this into the soul, then use Pacifica to call another one out, and having those multiple attacks as well, and building up the power of the Solenge on your rear guard that hasn't even attacked yet. For the grade 1s, I run 4 copies of Grab the First Row Bernarda. When on rear guard, this unit attack of this unit that it boosted hits, you check the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card with Pacifica and its card name, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. If you revealed a card, put this unit on the bottom of the deck. So just more search power to grab these specific Pacifica cards you may need, whether it be your Persona ride or even your go-to Planet Idol Pacifica for the back row center rear guard plays. And then just making it so it goes back to the deck gives you more of a better chance of not being able to deck out as well for any of your other options. Other grade 1s include the Rousing Vocal Luisen. With this card, on rear guard, at the end of the battle, this unit boosted. Retire this unit, choose up to 2 cards with Pacifica and their card name from the drop zone, return them to the deck and shuffle it. If you chose 2 cards, countercharge 1. So on top of the countercharge power, it's just a good way to recycle back our Persona rides or our Planet Idol Pacificas back into the deck for us to be able to then call out again with our top Idol Pacifica. And also 4 copies of Cooling Heart Eureka. On this card, rear guard, once per turn. When your other unit in the same column as this unit is placed, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit's power gets plus 5,000 till end of turn. And on rear guard, at the end of the battle, this unit boosted a rear guard. Soul Blast 1, choose one of the boosted rear guards and return it to your hand. So just power to consistently add cards back. Boosting and adding back a rear guard could potentially just give you setup or, hand consistency needed if you needed to discard another card for a, sentinel. You can at least have a grade 3 return back to the hand at the end of the battle that this card had that option. You also have the once per turn when your other rear guard in the same column as this one is placed, you can have it get plus 5,000 power. So for any of your units that did return, you can at least have the new units called out and have enough power to then swing into your opponent's Vanguard also. And I also run 2 copies of Rainbow Jeweled Beasts Opalreus for the ride deck shield option. We run the 2 copies because we have 4 cards in total from the ride deck to be able to put back to give us more options for same name cards as our Vanguard and putting into our hand from the drop or soul, and also the 15k shield as using it for the guard circle play. And then also 4 copies of the new Sturdy Sweets Semiel for the Sentinel of choice. Just being the newest Sentinel is why I decided to run this one. They all have the same card skill. So really just a choice on aesthetic art for which one you want to run. For the last of the cards before the triggers, 2 copies of Super Aesthetic Shot. It definitely does feel, even though it's only 4 additional cards down the deck, as a bigger deck in total, but still with this one you play with a counterblast of 1, and all your rear guards get plus 5,000. So plus 5 on top of the 10,000 that your Planet Idol Pacifica is attacking with, hits for 28, which requires more than just the 15k guard for your opponent to block that attack to begin with. And for the trigger lineup, the 4 copies of Precious Time Edwidge and the 3 copies of the new Shocking Candy Oris for the 7 critical. Actually, sorry about that. I was running the 8 critical. So if you can check that again, I missed it because it was behind the 1 draw trigger. The 8 critical, it's just added pressure with Pacifica and the multiple attacks to at least have one of those attacks hit and swing for the additional critical hit. 3 copies of Transparent Snowy Night Baratois for the draw. Since we just have so many units bouncing, I wasn't as reliant as using front triggers in the deck, with our heal being 4 copies of Love Thy Cat Lysanne for just once again being the newest heal to use. And our over trigger is Demonic Fever Gaviera for the plus 5 for the plus 10 power to all your rear guards permanently. If you get this early on in a game, the better. If you wanted to try out the Cray Elemental one, you can always give the blue one a try for more recovery back power as well onto your field. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoy. Once again, this is the start of the new number of cards that you run in a Vanguard deck, with 4 cards in the ride deck and 50 in the main. And look forward to some other Bermuda Triangle decks as well in the future. But as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Qualia out.